Video 7, embedding pictures, video and audio onto your web page so the user can actually interact with more media other than just text, really. I mean, the main one, we have kind of already done a banner, an image, so we've already kind of done that, but I'm just going to run over that, how to put that in and how the HTML should look for doing so. Before we start, I'm just going to get rid of this divider. It's kind of in the way for this demo, and I'm just going to put a new paragraph, and this is going to play the place where we're going to put these three elements. So to start with, we'll do a graphic in the same way. We'll just put a graphic there. I've started off just by finding a picture of a car. I copied it, or I can copy it, copy the image, go into fireworks. You know, here's one I made earlier, for example. I just made a little picture. It's kind of important that you get the size of the image, how big you actually want it to be. This one's 315 by 178. When you start out, when you've copied something to the clipboard like that car, you'll see that the picture's actually quite large, and it's much larger than actually the place you want to hold it. If you look at the page, we've only really got in here probably around about, well, I don't know, how many have we got? In the region of about 600 pixels to play with. So I don't really want the graphic to be that big. I don't want it to be 800 pixels wide. So in this case, I'm going to do a modify canvas. This time I'm not going to change the canvas size, I'm going to change the image size, which is a Control-J shortcut. And I'm just going to take it down to about 300 pixels in width. If you turn constrain proportions on, which is important, it'll drop the height of the picture as well. And let's change the zoom back to 100%, and that's how big the picture would be. You can play around in here in this piece of software. You can put text, you can do whatever you want ultimately. It's an image editing program, so play around to your heart's content. Let's say I'm happy with that finished graphic and I no longer wanted to make any changes to it for my website. The best way to make a picture for a website so that it's a nice small file size is to go to the Optimize menu in Fireworks, which is this thing in the top right hand corner. Change the drop down. In this case, I'm going to change it to JPEG, which is one of the best compression formats out there. And we'll go with 80% quality. That's perfect for what I want. File. I'm not going to save it. I'm going to export it. There's a subtle difference. The difference being that I want to export a JPEG as opposed to saving a PNG. That way, the JPEG, you can no longer edit the text and change the order of things, but ultimately, it's your finished format that you want to have it in. Pictures is not the place I've been working in. It has to be this PC, has to be your N drive, and it has to be the place you've been working. I've been going ICT website, and this is going to be one of my images for my website. I'll call this, because of what it is, a car. It's done, it's exported. If I try and close it, it'll whinge at me because I haven't saved it. You can if you want. I'm not going to. Oh, there's another one I was working on. So that's the picture done. That's pretty easy. You can just go straight back over to your page, and you can see if you refresh here, car.jpg as opposed to banner.png is available. You should also notice that the file size is a lot smaller than the PNG that I made for the banner earlier. This one is no longer editable. That's the main point. If you want to make changes to your graphics, which you might want to at a later date, like this banner, you need to make sure you still leave it in PNG ready for editing. But there are file size limitations on your ePortfolio. So if I want to put the picture in, this one I'm just going to try in code view because I'll show you some code to put these things in. I'm going to swap it into that paragraph there, go over to code, and you can see there's 3 blank paragraphs that I placed here. 1, 2, and 3 blank paragraphs. So I'm just going to delete the bottom 2 blank paragraphs. In fact, I don't need any paragraphs written there. Give myself some space. We still have a divider. That's the end of, strangely, the end of main content is actually there. Even though it's just a comment, that should probably go there. Doesn't really matter. And I should probably tidy up my paragraph. Here goes the image. So, images. They look like this. Open chevron, IMG, SRC, which is short for source. You can actually click on this little helper to help you find, or at least a comment code, and you can browse, and it actually helps you find it anyway. The image in relation to the website is called car.jpg. You can put a width and a height in here if you want to. When you drag and drop from the files menu into your the editor, it actually puts the width and the height of the picture already. We already talked earlier about alt messages for people that can't see the graphic. Those are really important, so I will put that there. Alt equals car. That'll do. And I'm just going to finish off the image tag. It looks a little bit like that. If I save the page and I preview it now, you'll see that the picture of the car has now been inserted in the place. The next element that we want to add in was an audio clip, for example. That's another element that you might be expected to put in. We're going to put one in here, and it would be very nice if Dreamweaver would have the ability to put audio into our web pages, but unfortunately with audio and video, web design has come on a little bit further than the version of Dreamweaver we have installed that's actually capable of supporting. So we're going to go to our good old website, W3 Schools, and you're going to search HTML audio, or embed audio HTML, and you're going to come to W3 Schools, this link here, and it's going to give you a piece of code, which I'll press try it yourself so you can see it. And the bit we're going to want is everything that goes from audio controls down to /audio. We'll copy it, and it's going to produce us a little thing on our page that looks a bit like this. It's going to play a horrible sound of a horse. And it also allows the user to change the volume and to download it if they wish. We're going to pop that on our page. We're just going to pop it in here, remembering that that's a piece of HTML code, not a piece of design text. So again, we pop into the code, and you can see that blank paragraph that for some reason it obsesses with going below this comment. So I'm just going to delete that blank paragraph. In fact, I'm going to delete that comment altogether. It's getting in the way. So we'll leave that there as a paragraph. The image doesn't need to be in a paragraph tag. I don't know why that version, why Dreamweaver is making it so that it is. You can see the picture is quite happy to be there. And all I'm going to do is place the audio clip here, which looks a bit like so. It's going to win. Oh, I will put that on the next line in a new paragraph. It's going to whinge here, obviously. This is just a preview of this little mini browser here. If I save it and preview this in a proper browser, what you'll see now is the little sound file is there. It's obviously whinging because there is no sound file located in relation to this. What's it looking for? It's looking for a file called horse.ogg. OGG is an extension similar to MP3 that's open source that supports, it's just an audio format. But if I want that file, well obviously horse.ogg came from the original tutorial that I was following in the try it yourself, I can actually download myself a copy. I've already downloaded one, that's why Chrome is downloading horse2.ogg, but I need to take horse.ogg from here and place it into the website folder, which is, if I open up my file explorer in N drive ICT website. The nice thing about Chrome is, well, you can put these side by side. The nice thing about Chrome is that you can take a file from your downloads directory, which I've already downloaded here. I can press Ctrl J to bring that back up, and I can scroll down and find horse.ogg and put that in the website folder. You can see now that this page has a link to horse.ogg, and it's going to find it. I probably should put it in a subfolder called audio, but I haven't. Anyway, let's go back to my page, which is in one of these many tabs, refresh, and you can see there the little sound file will play. Let's make that full screen. It's a bit annoying that this hasn't gone on to the next line, so let's see if I can get that to work. See if I can push that down. He says trying to put it onto the next few lines. I think the idea of placing it on its own, a paragraph in between the image, will work for now. Obviously that's not the tidiest way of doing it, but it will work. So I'll save it, save the page, refresh, and yeah, it's pushed it down onto the next line. And there you go. You get the person gets the ability to play a piece of audio. Video, much the same. We're going to close a few of those, and for the video, we're just going to search embed video HTML. And for this one, same website. It's pretty similar. That's embedding a YouTube clip, which isn't the way I wanted to do it using an iframe. I just wanted to embed a small piece of video, which is this one, MP4 video in HTML. There we go. And this one, it's going to give us a little file in exactly the same way. So this is a little MP4 clip that looks a little bit like so. Little butterfly with a bunny. Again, same thing. We can download it. This one's called mov_bbb.mp4. I've already downloaded it, that's why it's put a 1 on the end of it. Try it yourself. You can get the code for it. It's exactly the same. It's not audio. This one you set that it's a video. So I copy the code in exactly the same way. Go to Dreamweaver. Go to where I want to put the picture, the video, sorry, which I'm going to put down below this audio tag and place it in down there. All I need to do now is move mov_bbb into the same folder as my website, which is in my website. And again, go to my downloads in Chrome, find it. It's this thing here, mov_bbb.mp4. I can drag that, go to my website folder, and drop it. And let's see what that finally finishes up with. Let's hope that we've got all three elements in the page. And there we have it. A car, a horse, and the little clip, which can be full screened if we need it to be. But again, you can try any MP4 file if you want to.